Welcome. What you're about to watch is, in a sense, an old story told with a new tool. A business analyst sits down with the customer. The customer has an idea, usually a half-formed one, and the analyst has the job of turning it into something a development team can build. That conversation has been happening in offices and conference rooms for as long as software has existed. The tool you're about to meet sits inside that conversation, not above it. Your guide today is Jamie Campbell, and the application he's going to build from a blank page to a finished requirements package is a CRM. So what is Alchemist AI Pro? It is a platform that turns the conversation between an analyst and a customer into a purpose-driven specification. It does this by holding a structured dialogue, asking questions a good analyst would ask, and by reading whatever you give it. Documents, existing code, and the kind of institutional knowledge that usually lives in someone's head and walks out the door when they retire. What comes out the other end isn't a sketch, and it isn't a prompt. It's a versioned requirements package, architecture, technology choices, implementation plans. The kind of artifacts a team can put under source control and start working on immediately. That's the shape of it. The rest of the training is about how Alchemist AI Pro gets there. Now, a word about who this is for. Alchemist AI Pro was built with a particular person in mind. The analyst, the sales engineer on a pursuit call, the product owner trying to draft a release without losing the plot. If your work involves listening to someone describe what they want and turning that into something a team can build, you're the person we had in mind. The tool is designed around that role, but anyone who could grasp the stages and steps can still get strong results. It is worth saying who it isn't for, because being honest about that saves everyone time. Alchemist isn't for people looking for a shortcut around understanding what it is that they're building. It isn't for people who want code right away. There are tools for that, and they are not this one. And it isn't for anyone who treats the front end of a project as a formality to get past on the way to real work. The discipline is the real work. What Alchemist AI Pro is the foundation of the software development lifecycle. If that sounds like a heavy phrase for a demonstration, it's meant to be. Specifications written here are meant to hold up under everything that comes after. The journey we're talking about hasn't really changed in 30 years. Meet your customer, take the notes, go back to your desk, write requirements, hand them off, then spend the next 6 weeks answering questions you should have asked the first time you met your customer. Alchemist doesn't replace any of that. It sits underneath. The 6 steps are still yours. What changes is what's working alongside you at each step. Code archaeology is reading the existing systems. A persona ontology is keeping the actor straight. Working backwards discipline, well, that keeps features focused on the user. Socratic elicitation is pulling the ambiguity out before a developer gets to see it. The conversation is still yours. The notebook, though, is now alive. So, is that how it works? Well, yeah. Let's reinforce the key concepts here. Socratic elicitation is how the notebook works with you and empowers requirements gathering. But there are 4 supporting factors that are doing the heavy lifting here, and you'll hear Jamie reference them as we go. I know we've talked about it, but let me explain why each is important. Amazon's working backwards approach is a way of describing a finished product before you describe each of its parts. There's something we call code archaeology, for recognizing work that already exists rather than reinventing the wheel. There's ears notation, a way of writing requirements in a form that both developers and AI can read without translation. And then there's persona ontology, which keeps track of who's involved in every requirement and flags it when somebody's missing. None of that needs to be memorized by the user. It just needs to be running underneath your work. And that's what we call Alchemist AI Pro's recipe for success. It's at this point that you might be asking yourself, How is Alchemist AI Pro different? You may have already used one of those AI coding tools that are out there, the ones that have arrived over the last couple of years. They're fine for what they do, which is to take a prompt and produce code or a plan and churn those out with some guesswork in between. But Alchemist AI Pro is doing something different. It produces a specification, the document that tells the developer what to build and why. And the reason we're focused on this is plain. Code without a clear specification ages badly, and it ages quickly. You don't just need any specification. You need one that is purpose-driven. A specification with Alchemist AI Pro means every line of code that gets written later has a reason to exist. It's an old idea, really, dressed in new clothes. How about a few questions that tend to come up before anyone touches a keyboard? I'm just going to handle them right here, right now. So first question, won't it just make things up? It can. It's a large language model, which is why a person stays in the loop at every stage. And you'll watch Jamie correct it more than once during the training sessions that we have. What about my data? Well, nothing you put into Alchemist AI Pro is shared with the AI services running beneath it. The details on this are on AIProHoldings.com if your security team needs to read it before you do. Does this put analysts out of work? No. It makes a single analyst about as productive as a small team. And just one more question, because this comes up too. Isn't it just another AI wrapper? No. Alchemist AI Pro, and most of what's running underneath it, is 30 years of business analyst discipline, executed succinctly. The AI shows up only where it earns its place. To reiterate the point, let's cut to Jamie for the first time. He's going to be covering the privacy policy.
My name is Jamie Campbell, and let's begin. First things first, every time you log into Alchemist AI Pro, we want you to know we care about your privacy, and we are very clear about how data is not shared with any of the AI services that we leverage. And this is good for your organization to have a clear understanding. Again, on our website, AIProHoldings.com, we also have this detail in case your DevOps or security ops personnel need to understand it better.
As Jamie mentioned a moment ago, nothing you put into Alchemist AI Pro is shared with the AI services running underneath it. The policy is where that promise is written down. One last thing, and this is the thing that decides whether the tool actually will work for you. It's a matter of posture. Alchemist AI Pro is the notebook. You are still the analyst. People who treat it like an oracle, who type a sentence and wait for magic, get mediocre results back. People who front load the tool with all the documents they could think of, they get mediocre results back. People who treat it like a sharp colleague ship on time. Our training is about how to obtain that second posture. The training that you are about to embark on will come in 7 stages. These are the stages of Alchemist AI Pro. Capture, elicit, frameworks, elaboration, alchemy, audits, and export. Think of it this way. You want your big rocks first, frameworks next, and details last. And with that, I would like to thank you for your interest in Alchemist AI Pro. This has been an introduction video. If you would like to find more information about the product, please visit our website. In the next video, we'll create a new project and cover capture. I look forward to seeing you in that next video.